Hey guys, how are you? This is Jim from the Pain PT, and today we're going to talk about this idea of calling it out for what it is. Calling it out for what it is. And what I mean by this is calling out your condition for what it actually is, what your chronic pain is, what your chronic symptom is. And if you're not sure what it is, then get a diagnosis, okay, which is something that a lot of practitioners and doctors are doing now for TMS, or myself does as a physical therapist. But when you've been diagnosed, or you know that you have a mind-body disorder, meaning you have an issue that's created more by your brain and nervous system and its patterns and emotions, and you don't have a physical structural acute injury where there was an injury or something that we know is causing the condition, then we need to call this thing out for what it is, which is TMS, mind-body syndrome, coming from my brain, produced by my nervous system. Because what we're trying to do is minimize this thing. We're trying to shrink this thing down, okay? And it starts with the identification and acknowledgement for what it is. So if your symptoms are flaring up or going up, or you're having an awareness of your symptoms, anytime you connect to your symptoms in some way with an awareness of them, you notice them, you need to have a response. I talk a lot about your response is where your power lies, and that power lies in your response because that limbic brain is too fast. It's going to always take first place, and you're left in the role of how you deal with that reaction that you get in your body. The reaction's pain, the reaction's symptoms, the reaction's uncomfortable emotions, uncomfortable feelings. So your response is what matters most. Okay, so we want to first call it out for what it is. Hey, brain, this is a TMS reaction. This is just a nervous system reaction. It's an overreaction. It's a stress response. I'm feeling some elevated emotions right now. Call them out. I'm feeling anxious. I feel sad. I feel angry. Hey, this is just a conditioning pattern rearing its head. You want to call this thing out as much as you need to so that you put it in its place, so you identify and acknowledge what this is. You don't want to seed any sort of doubt or confusion to the brain about what's going on, because this sets the stage for you to now follow through on the subsequent steps once you label it and name it for what it is. This is just TMS. Now, once you call it out for what it is, then your subsequent actions support it. So if I'm saying, hey, this is just a TMS reaction, this is just a brain and nervous system overreaction, a stress reaction in me, nothing to be worried about. It's all right. Take it easy, brain. I got this. It's fine. Settle down. Once you call it out for what it is, what that should do, if you believe that, is it should drop this worry and concern way down. It should drop your worry and concern and fear and anxiety around what's going on down. Okay? And when that happens, when you're not worried about something anymore because you identify what it is and you called it out, then you move away from it, right? For example, and I tell this to some of my clients, if you had your cell phone here and your cell phone was on the edge of the table and it was on the edge and you're always worried it was going to fall off and hit the floor and maybe break or crash or get damaged, what would you do? You'd be looking at it, checking it. Hypervigilance, making sure it's okay, looking and making sure it's not going to fall off, it's not going to hit the ground. Now, what if I told you, look, hey, that cell phone is safe, it's okay now. The table's strong, where it's located, it's not going to fall off, it's going to be fine there. You don't need to worry about it at all. It's not going to hit the ground. It's fine. Now, would you be doing this? No, you wouldn't be checking it anymore, because once you know that it's okay and it is what it is, you're calling it out. It's nothing dangerous. This is a harmless response from my brain. It's just an overreaction of the limbic brain. then the last thing you want to do is keep playing into it, to keep trying to look at it and worry about it, because that's sending the wrong signal. That's not in alignment with calling it out for what it is. So when you call it out, your subsequent actions need to be in alignment. So you've had a response to what you feel, call it out for what it is, label emotions, label it as the diagnosis of TMS, just a reaction. Now again, that should drop your worry, move on with your life. Go back and do the things you want to do. Let the symptoms or the feelings run their course. Like I say, accept them, just let them move through you. You don't actually have to be processing them consciously. As long as your mindset and your intention is in the right place and your nervous system is relaxed, it's going to do the work for you. It's going to do the work for you. See, the other thing that happens is when you call it out for what it is and you really know that's what it is, you shrug it off. You relax. You go, big deal. It's not a big deal. So again, your worry drops. You start to relax. The nervous system starts to shift into that parasympathetic rest and digest state. It starts digesting these pains and chemicals. And you move on with your day. You carry on with what you're doing. Engage back in your life. Okay, that's the simplest thing to do. That's the simplest approach. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If there's nothing wrong, don't go ahead and then focus on it, because then you're indicating to the brain that something is wrong, something is a problem. Okay, so it all starts with calling it out for what it is. Calling it out for what it is. Right up in the beginning, you have to call it out all day long if you need to, just to break this pattern down and to remind your brain that you're fine. This is a harmless stress reaction or a signaling issue from your brain that feels very uncomfortable in your body, but it's nothing. It's just a reaction, and your job is to get it to settle down. So this is the first way to do it, is to identify what the issue is. So hope this helped you guys. I'm giving you so much different information, but it's all the same stuff. You just got to first start with your foundation of what you're dealing with. And then from that foundation, your subsequent actions and intentions take place. Okay, so this what we're talking about today is setting the foundation by calling it out for what it is to your brain. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.